Hi, I'm Wendy Wesley, and I'm here in the Daystar teaching kitchen, and I am a registered and licensed dietitian nutritionist, and today I'm going to make a sausage and cannellini and greens saute. And that might sound really, really fancy, but it's just about 4 ingredients. It's super easy. I'm going to start with a little bit of oil in the pan. Ooh, I think it's a hot pan because it cracked a little bit. The way you know your oil is ready is it moves quickly across the surface of the pan. That makes it means it's ready. I'm going to throw this sausage in. That's another good indication that my pan is ready to go. I want to show you this sausage. I left this one uncut. It's in a casing, and I want to show it to you. I'm just going to score it very, very easy, nice across the top. And you see this casing will just peel off very, very easy. Of course, I say that and it won't peel. No, this casing will just peel off nice and easy, and then the sausage will just kind of pop out of it. Okay, you want to do that because when this casing cooks, it gets tough and then it can be hard to cut later on. And this way, now that I've cut the casing, it'll be easy for me to grab a spoon and I can break it apart. So my sausage is cooking. I'm not going to fuss it too much because it's not moving around, but once the proteins cook, then they will automatically release from the pan. So don't force, if you're cooking chicken or something else and it's not moving around, just sit back and just let it cook, because eventually once the proteins cook, they will release from the pan. One thing I want to show you is these are drained cannellini beans. They're from a can, and I drain them and rinse them. Okay, that's it. That's all they are. And a cannellini bean is a great northern bean. So if you're looking for cannellini and you don't see it in the store, look for Great Northern. They're in every grocery store. I'm going to add some garlic to this dish because I think everything's better with a little bit of garlic. And this whole thing is called the bulb. And what I'm peeling off are cloves. These are cloves of garlic. Now, peeling garlic can be kind of challenging, and I don't want you to waste your time in the kitchen. So what I want you to do is under the blade of the knife, I want you to smash it with the heel of your hand like that. And what happens is, look, the garlic just peels right off of that. Look how easy that does. Now, what I'm not going to do is add this garlic to this very, very hot pan because it will scorch, it will burn, and then it will turn into kind of like a bitter garlic, which we don't want. We want a flavorful, sweet garlic. So this garlic is something that I'm going to add after things have kind of cooled down a little bit and I have added the beans. So see, this sausage has released because I didn't mess with it. And if you just kind of let your proteins cook, they will release a little bit easier. I'm going to flip them over so they cook on the other side. Now, this sausage is just some Italian sausage store brand. No big deal. Nothing fancy. I'll buy it and I'll cook like 1.5 and I'll freeze the other 1.5 so that I'll get 2 meals, but I'm just cooking for 2 people. I'll get 2 meals out of a package of this like store brand sausage. It doesn't have to be store brand, but this particular one was. I say that because I find that the store brands are just as good as the national brands. So, you know, don't waste the money if you don't have to. So I have my sausage. It's almost ready to go. And I just wanted to make a note. If you don't want to mess with fresh garlic, and I understand that, you can use jarred garlic. Please, I don't want you to think that just because this is fresh garlic that this recipe is not for you. That is not the case. Okay, so I've got the sausage going. I'm trying to cut it up with the edge of my spoon as much as I can so I can kind of create bite-sized pieces because I don't want these big pieces. And as I cut it up, I can see it's still a little pink inside. But I still have a little bit of cooking to go because I have to add my beans and then I have to cut up my collards. So what I'm going to do now is add the beans. Again, these are just canned cannellini or Great Northern beans and drained and rinsed. So I'm going to throw those in. One thing I am not going to add to this recipe, now hear me now, is salt because the beans have salt and the sausage has salt. And we don't need to add more salt to a dish that already has 2 ingredients that contain salt, okay? So please don't add any salt. If you want to add some other spices like some oregano or some thyme or something, you can do that. You can absolutely do that. Okay. I'm going to save the garlic for probably last because I don't want it to burn. But right now what I'm going to do is ribbon my collards. Now, these are collard greens. They're fresh. If you want to use spinach, you can use kale, you can use mustard greens, you can use just almost any kind of green. Again, I don't want you to think, well, I don't have collards, so I can't make it. That's one thing I love about this recipe is that green is interchangeable. And if you don't have garlic, you don't have to add garlic. That's the thing. If you want to make this vegan and you don't want to add meat, you don't have to add meat. This is a really versatile recipe. So it could be vegan, it can be made with any kind of green, and you don't have to add the garlic if you don't want to, if that's not your thing. So what I've done is I've taken the middle out of it. I could have ripped it, but I used my knife. What I'm going to do, I've got these two sides of these collards. Okay, I'm going to roll them up, and this is how I make collard ribbons. Roll them up, and with my knife, I'm just going to give them a quick chop. And what I get are these really, really pretty collard ribbons that I'm just going to add to my beans. So I've ribboned 5 of these collard leaves, and I've put them in, and they are just kind of wilting. Now, because they're fresh, they'll cook pretty quick. You see the steam escaping. This is the steam, the water from the collards cooking down. And you know how quick spinach cooks. If you did spinach in this dish, it would cook even faster, but collards take a little bit longer to wilt because they have a much higher fiber content. My last step is to add all of this beautiful chopped garlic. And again, it won't scorch because these other ingredients have absorbed a lot of the heat from the pan. If I put that garlic in right when that sausage was cooking, I would have burnt it. Trust me, I've burnt a lot of garlic in my day, and it doesn't smell good, nor does it taste good. So that's why I've learned to add garlic right at the very end, just to kind of let it steam and gently saute. And this is ready to serve. This would be a great quick evening meal. Very, very satisfying. We have 2 sources of protein. We have meat and we have the beans. Those are each sources of protein. So we're not worried about protein in this dish at all. We've got some vegetables. We've got some nice garlic. We have good fiber. We've got fiber in the beans, and we've got great fiber in the collard greens. And this is my easy weeknight cannellini sausage and green saute.